What's up, y'all? I'm back with another video. Today I will be flying this beautiful 777 from Hong Kong all the way over to New York City, which will probably be the longest flights I will probably ever do in their channel. But I may or may not choose to go longer, but certainly it's the longest flights I've ever done on the channel, and then the flight simulator, so that'll be pretty interesting. So at this point now, I would say let's get into a briefing and take a look at how we can expect things to go. So let's start with our cost index. So I would say for such long flights, we do have a rather low cost index, but I could choose to bump that up if I'd like. But let's take a look at our steps. So we have plenty of steps. Our initial cruise will be 290, and we're stepping all the way until we reach 370. So we're probably not going to follow this directly, but we'll use our VNav page to monitor airplane performance and use that as our decision on when to make flight level steps. Alright, so our fuel for today will be 130,000, 130.2 thousand. And our taxi fuel is 7,075 approximately. So here's our route. So we will be taking the DeLorean Yankee off of runway 7 center, and we shall be cleared. The rest is filed, and we might be clearing ourselves anyway because Hong Kong at this moment is uncontrolled. So we are taking 301 passengers, and we can expect a takeoff weights of 333. Angel numbers, that's nice. 333.9 estimated. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weather, and then from there we can decide on what we can use as our actual cost index and amount of fuel to get on board. So the weather for departure is pretty calm. It's only 3 knots, barely any winds at all. We have the wind variable though, and scatter clouds at 3,500. Temperature of 21. And a QNH of 120. So pretty decent weather coming out of Hong Kong. So let's go ahead and take a look at JFK. Over here in JFK, we have some much stronger winds, gusts up to 25, but clear skies. Visibly the weather is pretty good, except for storm, which is really just at flight level 250. So but the temperature is also pretty low, so risk of icing, so must be careful with that. Altimeter 2997, and that's what we have for JFK. And if we look at our alternates, which is Philadelphia, we have an overcast at 11,000 with a temperature of 2. So weather is almost pretty much the same. We have the wind gusts up to 23 knots. Okay. And our alternates are looking pretty good, except It is pretty cold there. Temperature of 0. But the winds are pretty calm at both of our 8 tops airports. Alright, so I almost forgot. Oh yeah, altimeter is 1020. I've already reported that. For Hong Kong. And last but not least, before we hop into the aircraft, let's go ahead and take a look at our maps. See how bumpy our flights can expect to get. So they'll be expecting a pretty smooth departure, and then we will run into a little bit of turbulence along the way as we start to get over the Pacific Ocean. So jet stream at a number 3 up at flight level 360, and we will be crossing another one, flight level 300. And that jet stream is kind of U-shaped, so we'll be crossing it again later into the flight as well. So pretty interesting weather. Coming in over Canada, we shall get a little bit bumpy again, and that will be a number 3 on the turbulence. And we're crossing another jet stream, which will be pretty strong, well, at flight level 300. So at this point we can expect to be closer to flight level 370, so that jet stream really won't affect us too much. And then our arrival, we can expect that to get a little bit bumpy. Mild turbulence on the number 3, and that's pretty much all. So you can expect a mildly bumpy flight, still pretty smooth. So let's hop into the cockpits, get the airplane ready. The jetway connected, so let's go ahead and start our procedures. Alright, the chalk's on, so we don't need the parking brake at this moment. Our nav data is correct. Alright, it's Hong Kong. And we will wait for our inertial to load. There it is, perfect timing. We just copy and paste, call it a day. Now we're aligning. And at this point, we can import the routes. So let's go ahead and do that. Nope, we're not there yet. Not just yet. There we go. And I will uplink that. Call it a day. At this point, we can start our ground surfaces, refueling and boarding. Perfect. And the load sheet over there is correct in GSX. Alright, ready to go. Perfect. So let's go ahead and load that. What just happened? Just click boarding.
Refueling truck
Great.
is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Alright, our route is in there, so go ahead and get our departures and arrivals. Alright. Low 1 Yankee and 7 Center. That is correct. And for our arrival, we should, whoops, let me go back. Next. Arrival into JFK.
Do you want to board crew?
Pilots and
Boarding
crew.
started.
And also, let's go ahead and take a look at our temperatures before we start boarding passengers. Alright, so everything looks great.
Crew boarding started.
You can also pull up the OFP over here.
Fuel truck is in position.
So, Punky 1 into JFK, runway 22 left.
Truck arrives and ask to do it.
To left, Punky. Perfect. Perfect, that route's ready to go. And now we're down to the ending page. Let's accept our load sheets. And I will edit that cruise altitude. And let's enter 290 for our initial cruise. Perfect. Our zero fuel weight for today is 204.2. I almost said 2004. Perfect. Oh. How do we get here first? Alright. And now for the performance page, I will wait until we start boarding passengers and get the most of them on board. But in the meantime, at this point, I'll go ahead and start on my chart briefing. Let's go ahead and do that. We can get that out of the way. Alright, the low 1 Yankee.
Your crew has boarded.
And the briefing is just basically the routing, so I like to look at it this way. So our first constraints will be Hotel 355 at 210 knots, and then 356 at 230 knots. Ramen at 6,000. Betvo at flight level 110, and Segpo at or above flight level 140. So let's go ahead and cross check that. Let's go ahead and go to our legs page. All right, 6,000 above at Ramen. Betvo, we see flight level 110 and above. Segpo, flight level 140 and above. All right, so all of that is in there, so great. And we have no below restrictions, so we can go straight up to 290 after takeoff. Also, let's not miss it, our takeoff heading, we go back in there, is 83. Oh no, I'm sorry, 74. Alright. Go ahead and check out how our guys coming along on the ground. Our ground handlers with the fuel and the bags and everything. Everything looks good. I just want to take a look. Alright, it's very nice, very nice. We see that over there. See that. Bags, they are getting them on board pretty fast. Guys do move quickly. Alright, very nice, very nice. And we see logo here. Pretty decent. Giant and beautiful GE90 engines. Ready to carry us through the skies for the next 14 hours. Or 15 rather. Where's the other aircraft? I hear him. I really see him. I don't know if this is 747 or if it's just parked. Alright, but our passengers are boarding, so we'll go ahead and come back here, say hello to them. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just peeking back here. Alright, so we do have our load sheet on board. So now continue with our takeoff performance data, entering that. First I will tune the radios though. And we're finished boarding, perfect timing. Alright, so let's get our performance data, and then we will be ready to go. Seven sensor. Alright, the information is correct. Let's use kilos. Perfect. And yes, also I will choose to use flaps 15 since we are really heavy today, and that will give us a slightly lower V speeds to be able to work with, and we will eat up less runway. Alright, that's perfect. Oops. Our select temperature is 40. Therm is 6.75. And our acceleration height is 1,000 feet. Center of gravity is 27.62. Round that up to 2/8 on the center of gravity. That gives us a trim of 5.5. So trim over here is a little bit slightly miscalculated. That is okay. And our V-speeds are a little bit lower than calculated. So that's also okay. Takeoff weights, if we can refer back. Oh. 333.9. Alright, CDU pre-flights is complete.
Hong Kong traffic,
And we're pretty much ready to go.
2064 heavy departing off of runway 7 center on the Lowell 1 Charlie departure for Hong Kong traffic.
Alright, perfect. Our MCP is completely set up. You have a V2 speed, heading, and our flight altitude. So we can go ahead and pre-select LNAV VNAV, and we will climb via the SID exactly. Since there are no controllers online and there is a little bit of traffic, so of course that's where the risk comes in. Alright, so overhead, the Adaires are on. Thrust asymmetry is on. IFEs are on. The bus ties are set to auto. Generator control switches are on. Lights as required. Emergency exit lights armed and guarded. The heats are on. Hydraulics are off for the time being. We can now turn on the seat belts. Passenger signs are set. EC switches norm. Wheel pumps are off for the time being. And so departure. Anti-ice is
Hong Kong
auto.
traffic, True Fog 2064 heavy airborne passing 1.1 climbing 5 on the Lowell
Air
1 Charlie
conditioning
clear
is
runway
auto,
7 center. Let's go
and the
for
bleed airs
Hong Kong.
are
Yeah.
set auto. And the pressurization panel is set. Parking brake, we can go ahead and set that now, because we're about to get ready to go. And pretty much ready. Let's say hello to the passengers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the flight deck. Welcome on board Cathay Pacific Flights 830, bound for New York City, JFK. Before we go, I would like to go over safety. So first things first, when the seatbelt signs are illuminated, which they are right now, Please keep your seat belts fastened. And even when they are switched off, we still recommend that you keep them fastened in case of the unlikely events of unexpected turbulence. Also, smoking is prohibited on board this aircraft and all others with Cathay Pacific, so please refrain from smoking. When we start to push back, the cabin crew will give you guys a more detailed briefing on safety on board the aircraft, so please give them your undivided attention. And once again, we hope you all have a safe and enjoyable flight with us. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask one of our lovely cabin crew. We will be departing in about 3 minutes. Okay. Little PA announcements. Shut that. Points now. Sets. Let's get our doors closed. Let's make sure they're closed. Closing arm. Try that again. Here we go. Perfect. They're getting closed. Alright, let's go to our checklist. Oxygen. Check. Flight instruments, altimeter heading. Yep. That's all sets. Parking brake, let's go ahead and recycle it just to take it. Alright, checklist completes. Before start checklist, flight deck door is closed and locked. MCP V2, which is 179 knots. Initial heading, which is our takeoff heading 074, and our cruise altitude on the altitude select 290 checked. Takeoff speeds 166, 174, 179 checked. 3 flights complete. Trim. Let's go ahead and get the hydraulics working now. And now at this point we can turn on fuel pumps. We have fuel in the sensor tanks as well, so let's definitely get that on. Turn 5.5. Perfect. Taxi and takeoff briefing. Alright, so let's go over the taxi briefing. Will be in the charts, of course. What just happened? There it is. Alright, we're taxiing to 7 Center via Alpha Bravo and Alpha all the way down. Alpha Bravo Alpha. So that is our taxi briefing, and for our takeoff briefing, I will just keep it short and simple. We have perfect weather, so don't really see any threats for our departure. And the only risk I see is departing into an uncontrolled airspace with a large aircraft. So you must be mindful of the traffic at all times. So any questions from our first officer? I guess he doesn't speak. We will take that as a no. And get ready to start pushing back. Go ahead and recycle that. Beacon is on before start checklist is complete. Really understanding insufficient fuel though. That is kind of strange. Well, if we just go here and load a little bit more. 131.0.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Does that change our speeds? But if we just go ahead and real quick and go back, and doesn't really do anything to it. Not much of a difference.
Departure checks completed.
Still accepting the
Bypass pin
speeds.
inserted.
Huh. I'm still getting the insufficient fuel warning. Probably should have added a little bit of extra fuel anyway. 135. I remove it. Yes, I believe so.
Locking gear.
Hold on, GSX. Once we get flight control replay recording, there it is. And we will make a left turn on the push. Flight control does make it freeze momentarily. Alright, we're back in business, so push us back. And let's take away those wheel chocks. Hong Kong ground. I'm sorry, Hong Kong traffic. Kathy 830 heavy. Pushing at stand 329. Left turn.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Perfect. Let's monitor this push. See if there's any traffic. Alright, nothing. Alright, perfect. We're all clear. Let's focus on starting those engines. Alright, we'll start the left first. Oil pressure is starting to come up. And we shall get fuel flow after into 233. Alright, the start valve is closed on engine 1. Let's go ahead and start 2. Same procedure. Oil pressure is coming up and our N2 is rising. Alright, here comes the fuel flow pretty soon. There it is. Coming into play.
Center traffic. Center 905 fuel.
Perfect sets, and we have the starts. The start valve is closed on the right engine. So let's go to our electrics page. Let's go to our electrical page rather. Our generators are on bus, so we can go ahead and kill the APU. Alright. That is ready to go. Ooh. Set the pumps back to auto. Alright, all good up here. Go ahead and get our flight controls configured for departure. Flaps 15, like I just said.
Cockpit to
Engine
ground.
starts.
We have a good engine start. You can
Release the
disconnect.
tug. Do not drop the airplane and damage the landing gear. Oh, they have done that in the past. Alright, anti-ice. Checked. Recall. Checked. Flight instruments. Aileron left. Aileron right. Aileron neutral. Elevator up. Down. Neutral. Center. Rudder left. Rudder right. Rudder neutral. Flight controls check, and let's arm the speed brakes as well.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And the ground equipment, wait a minute. We get the hand signal. Wait on the hand signal. Alright, there it is. Ground equipment is clear. Pre-flight checklist complete. And before takeoff, checklist completes. Flaps to 15. Alright. Hong Kong traffic. Kathy 830 taxiing to runway 7 center via Alpha Bravo. I'm sorry, just Alpha to Alpha 1. Just a little bit sluggish. Correction on that taxi briefing, Alpha 8's Alpha 1. Alright, we're clear to the left and to the right. Make this turn. Cabin is ready. Very nice. Clear left and clear right. Going to make this left turn nice and wide. About 250 feet of aircraft, nose to tail. Let's keep that as a reminder. Yes, I am taxiing a little bit slow just because we're really heavy. And in the 777 manual, I think we shouldn't exceed 15 knots when extremely heavy on the load. So, keeping it nice and slow. We are exceeding 15 knots anyway, but we're only up to 16, so whatever, it's fine. Just not too fast. Alright. Clear left and right. know what? I am taxiing a little bit faster than the recommended speed on a heavy load, just because Hong Kong is not too busy as far as traffic anyway at this time in VATSIM. So we're really still in safe limits anyway. Alright, you're getting close to where we want to take off at. We're holding point. That is Alpha 4. Almost slammed on the brake. Reading that as Alpha 1, so at this point we will go ahead and start our takeoff procedure, which is really just configuring the lights. Cabin is ready and everything. Once we make our turn onto the runway, I will go ahead and turn on the strobe lights, and we can at this point get on the weather radar. Firm braking, but not too hard. Ooh. Alright. Clear arrival. Let's make our turn. See if we're clear departure. And it looks that way. We're clear. Alright, yep. Made that turn a little bit shallow. Hong Kong traffic. Cathay 830. Departing runway 7 center. Alright. Are you ready to fly? I would take that as a yes. Alright, here we go. Bye bye Hong Kong. We are on our way to New York City. Go ahead and stabilize those engine. Nose down. Spoilers, huh? I guess it doesn't like them armed. Okay. 777 doesn't like spoilers armed for departure. Leave them off. Alright, no more takeoff config. Alright. I cannot click the toga button. There it is. Alright, airspeed alive. 80 knots. Huh. Plane accelerates fast anyway. No, I clicked that toga button kind of late. B1 rotates. Positive rate, gear up. Speed check, flaps 5. What a beautiful scenery. Look at on the way out. And an enjoyable aircraft to hand fly. Love how the controls feel. Alright, up to flaps 1. Pass our flaps 5 speed. Flap 0. And they're up, yep. 250 knots. Get to our after takeoff checklist. Complete. Go ahead and turn this off. At this point, let's pull standard. Climbing straight up to 290 initially. And you know what, I will choose to hand fly it all the way up to 290. Just to show off my skills a little bit. Just because I like being a show off. Very fun aircraft to hand fly, I will say. Also, taxi off at this point. It's taxi light off. Just forgot about that. Passing 10,000. Landing lights off. And we can kill the runway turnoffs. Starboard button. And we're accelerating a little bit slowly, but surely. But because we are heavy. Also, not feeling a lot of turbulence, and we didn't expect a lot in the weather briefing, so at this point I would turn off the cabin signs, just the seatbelt signs. Definitely leave that no smoking on, or rather switch the signs to auto. Perfect. FMC message. Enable next altitude. Wonder why. I am following the flight director. $14,000 above. I think we could do that. Or why we couldn't. I am following that flight director. No deviations. So guess VNAV kind of miscalculated it. I don't know. I did turn the seatbelts off, so it was under 7.5. Let me not be too rough on the flight controls. Yeah, they just yank it up a little bit. Yup. Science air is thinner, so aircraft is feeling lighter as we climb, of course. Just natural science. is that? Oh, Hong Kong Center. Boeing 8925. Okie dokie. There's VHF left. VHF left. The left VHF. And let's go ahead and ident. Good morning, Hong Kong Center. Kathy 830 is with you. Passing 19,500. Or rather, flight level 190.
Today 830 Hong Kong radar, set squawk 3572.
Squawk 3572, Hong Kong 830. 3572. Ooh.
Cathay 830 Hong Kong radar identify, climb to flight level 290 initially, and unfortunately flight level 290 not available after waypoint N-far, minimum level flight level 310.
Climb to 290 and after repeat the waypoints, climb to 310 minimum. Minimal.
Yeah, I just want to ask you if you're able to make flight level 310 before N-far, since flight level 290 not available after N-far.
Affirm. Available for 310.
Can 830 roger, climb to flight level 310 final level, reach level before N-far.
Up to 310.
And confirm to reach level before N-far.
Reach level before and I just made up whatever
The
you said.
waypoint N-far, Echo November, Victor Alpha Romeo.
Oh, correction, NVAR. Reach 310 before NVAR.
Thank you.
Alright. Alright, we're up 310 before NVAR. Oh, he said NVAR. Oh, something. Well, I just repeated it. Haha. Sorry about that. But glad he corrected us. Glad he corrected me quickly. Oh, we're descending. Want to climb. this flight director is trying to lead me. But we will stay above it a little bit. Like, I can't trust it too much after a certain flight level. Seems like he wants to hold me at that altitude. But yes, we do want to maintain a good airspeed. Yes, I understand. Understandably, this is when it gets tricky to hand fly. But for you guys, I will do it. Hand flying all the way to flight level 310. And then I will turn on autopilot. So we are starting to struggle with that. Stay above 5 degrees of pitch so we can have a vertical speed coming along with us, help us out.
Radar November 701, Sierra X-ray Heavy 196, climbing flight level 290, inbound Tama. November 701, Sierra X-ray Hong Kong radar, set squawk 5157. 5157, 701, Sierra X-ray.
Alright, here we go. We're starting to reach it. Getting the level off.
November 701, Sierra X-ray Hong Kong radar, identify. Report, request a final level. Request 290 final, November 701 Sierra X-ray. November 701 Sierra X-ray, roger, climb to flight level 290. Leave Big X on heading 210, radar sector the signal.
Climate maintain 290, leave Big X heading 210, November 70 on direction.
Almost there. Almost there. Yep.
Cathay 830, clear direct to Enfer.
Clear direct inver. Cathay 830. Alright. Putting on autopilot now. Why did I turn on both? There we go. Alright, we're up here at cruise altitude, 23 minutes into the flight, so not too bad timing. So I will pretty soon turn off the microphone and y'all can enjoy the rest of the views of the cruise. Or rather just the skies, the views of the beautiful sky. For the next 15 hours, I definitely will chop it down to know what's going on with my recording, so very close to our top descents right now. Okay. Make sure my microphone is working just because I was having audio issues, so that's why I am starting the recording of us getting into the arrival a little bit late. So we have the weather data right here, or rather the ATIS for JFK. Approaches 22 left, 22 right, so we're taking 22 left. So all good. And we're taking the Bucky on arrival, so pull that up on the briefing. On the EFB rather. So this will be briefing over here. From Pucky, track 136 to Vidar, and then track 136, expect radar vectors to final approach course. So, Gento, expect flight level 2.0, so let's go ahead and start descending. Over that point. How far away is Gento? Let's take a look at our roads. Oh, that's not something to fix. Anyway. I don't know why that was skipped. Okay, we can direct straight to Bucky then in that case. Go ahead, oops. Direct straight to Bucky. And we can take it down to flight level 190. Catching up to a descent path right now. I'll go ahead and flip on the seatbelts just because we're about to descend into the clouds right there. And the no smoking signs. And I'm going to start another recording in flight control replay so we can get some decent replay shots of our arrival, and that will freeze the sim for about 30 seconds. I don't entirely understand why though, but it is what it is. So that is running in the background. Alright, there we go. And did it crash? Oh, it's still up. Alright, and we're recording. Great. Great. Alright, so we have our arrival briefing, so let's go ahead and go back to our performance page. That's right, and what do we have for our autobridge setting? Doesn't really configure at all. And let's take a look at the cloud information. See if we have any. Nothing going bad. Oh, overcast, that's flight level 250, so yes. Just in case it is raining, go ahead and enter for a wet runway. Information doesn't really change much. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take that info. And the runway length is 8,400 feet, so go with auto brake 2. Or maybe 3. Be a little bit better since we're still really heavy. Perfect. Now we're getting that. That is strange a little bit. Pretty sure I turned that off. I don't know why we're getting that. White simulators instead of VAT sim. It just keeps repeating and never stops. Oh, we have New York since. Oh, no. Not for us. Or whatever, we're just going to ignore that. But anyway, let's go to our checklist. Descent checklist, recall check, notes checked, auto brake 3 for landing, VREF for our final approach speed is 163. Approach briefing, let's go back to the charts. I don't think we are descending as fast as we want to. I don't know. But we want to keep VNAV on. But like our VNAV may have miscalculated all of this. Buckets. Alright. 93. 9,300 feet, is that Pucky? Do we want that? Are we sure we want that? Because the restriction is really light level. Go back and take a look. The restriction at Pucky is flight level 190, so really want 190 at Pucky. So I don't know. And at 250 knots. Okay, that doesn't stop. Whatever. Does get annoying, doesn't it? Alright. Thought I had stopped it. Okay. I don't really understand what it's really trying to calculate for Pucky. Altitude would be 190 at Pucky. So after we reach Pucky, if we're still uncontrolled, then we would make a left turn and continue our descent all the way down to about 5,000 and come right in to runway 22 left. Just that easy. So that is the plan for today. We would rather have to dark. Then we can make our turn. Alright, so anyway, let's take a look at the actual approach into to the left. Alright. ILS is 110.9, final approach course 224. Valpo at 1800 feet. Precision heights 200 feet, 212. Airport elevation 13 feet. Missed approach briefing, climb to 500 feet, then left turn to 3000, outbound to JFK. And are we reaching Pucky? So we must be at flight level 190 by Pucky. Alright. Anyway, left at 3000, outbound to JFK viewer. And hold. Perfect. That is our arrival briefing. We have that. So the descent checklist. 20,000. 19,000. Alright, descent checklist complete. Checklist complete. We can get down to the approach. That will just be altimeter. So let's go ahead and get our altimeter from the weather data. We clear this access data. I'll just go ahead and turn that off. No, not Hong Kong. JFK. Altimeter is 2952. So after we cross Pucky, 2952. Go ahead and set that. Still about the transition level, so it does get a little bit tricky. Can't really set it now. Alright, but anyway, let's go to our VNAV. We did not really set forecast. We don't really need that anyway. But let's go to our arrival data. Let's make sure we have it. What is our flap setting? What if we just redo our flap setting? We can definitely arrive a little bit slower on the speed. Definitely a great option. Flaps 2.5 gives us 163, but on the reference it gives us 149. Pretty interesting, but we'll go ahead and take that 149 on the speed, and our gross weights will be 223.3. Go ahead and find that. I don't know. Doesn't give us really any information on our weights anywhere in this calculation. Kind of strange. That could be implemented, so this would be more accurate. Final speed is 149 using flaps 2.5. Alright, our approach rifle set. BREF speed 149. Perfect. And after the fedora, once again the plan is a left turn, then a turn right into our arrival, runway 22, left. Alright, we're crossing Pucky, so down to 5,000. And our altimeter, oh, no, I can really do that. 2952. Still rolling down. There we go. Perfect. And we don't really have any more altitude restrictions, well, between now and the vectoring, so we'll really go to level change. They're not letting us, huh? That is weird. There it is. Oh, what just happened? And we are maintaining a good speed, so this is what we will stick with. Or if we do want to descend a little bit faster, which wouldn't hurt, vertical speed mode, and go ahead and increase it a little bit. And we're going to go with heading mode. Current heading is 138. Going to start the turn now. Or 136 rather. Huh. Well, I just did that. Turn heading 46. Factoring ourselves in since no controllers once again, of course. Alright, so approach checklist, altimeters, checklist complete. And now we're just down to the landing checklist. And for our arrival, can't really determine what parking we would take for Cathay Pacific, so guess we could look that up really quickly. Oops. I may have anyway. But we can go ahead and locate it. Anyway, we can take any parking that fits as well, so why not? Oh, and we're descending pretty fast, so bring that speed up a little bit. Brakes out. Yeah, for sure. Exiting 10,000. Landing lights and runway turn-offs. So let's get them all. And we're a little bit fast now. Speed brakes are out. Hold on, let me go to the index. Alright. Perfect. Will be a pretty long approach. Yeah. Oh, what do we have? Interesting. A message from the ACARS. We have here. JFK 8 is alright, same thing. Yankee. Everything is still the same. We still have the same runways, so we're going to stick with them. Perfect. And we're also a little bit faster than our target speed. So. But we are a little bit heavy, so airplane is going to manage it that way. While we have a little bit more than idle thrust. Alright, so runway 22 heading is, if we can take a look back once again, and the DME is 110.9224. So, and we have all of that. Okay. We want to make sure. Yep. All right. 47. All right, let's turn heading 1 through 4. Coming inbound. 1 through 4. We'll turn up that range a little bit. I can't really see that. Oh, yes, we can. Alright. We are some miles out. Also had the speed brakes out for a second. I'll look on Navigraph. Just take a quick look. We're a little bit past our final turning point, so go ahead and turn heading 224. You're a little bit far out, so I would say. And make corrections as necessary. You know, this approach I'm doing is not really exactly the normal arrival procedure. Onto an ILS, yes, but we are a little bit past. Our overshot the final turn just a little bit, just slightly. So I want enough space to capture that localizer in time, so a little bit of a sharper turn coming in. Alright, but anyway, we can say hello to JFK traffic. We're getting a little bit closer. JFK traffic, good afternoon. KJFK 30 Heavy inbound for localizer 22 left, 20 miles out. Okay, perfect. Go ahead at this point and make that turn heading 224. Oh. This point, whoa, 3,000. And I'm gonna arm the localizer. Let's descend to 3,000. Alright. So those, oh. Yeah, that's what the issue is. Holding. Can descend a little bit faster than that. There we go. Ooh. I'm gonna arm that localizer as well. Definitely don't want too fast of approach. Not an approach speed just yet. Definitely don't want too fast of a speed at this point. Definitely slow ourselves down. But yes, managing speed does get a little bit tricky for us right now, since we're so heavy, of course. And I'm really just going to go ahead and go into our legs page. Let's go ahead and direct to our first fix on the approach, which is Rosley, at or above 3,000. And we'll go ahead and take that as our arrival. And at this point, we can go ahead and start putting out our flaps. So, flaps 1, speed check, and bring our speed down a little bit. And we have the localizer captured, so. Whoa. I'll still keep it armed just to be safe, but once we get closer, definitely arming approach mode. Got to switch back to 228. Kennedy traffic, good afternoon. KJFK 30 on final
214 at 16.
22 left,
Visibility
about
9er.
20 miles
Sky
out.
condition, 3,100 scattered, 5,300 scattered ceiling,
Have to turn that annoying crap back
14,400
on.
overcast. Temperature 8C.
Localizer is
2
captured,
13C.
so
Altimeter 2947.
or it is armed.
November 8 9er.
Localizer is captured. Arming approach mode. Here we go.
21417. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 3,100 few clouds at 53.
They flaps 5 at this point. Let's bring that speed down a little bit.
8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2947. November 8 9er automated weather observation. 19000 Zulu. Wind 215 at 18. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 3,100 few clouds at 5,300 ceiling, 14,400 overcast. Temperature 8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2947. November 8 9er automated weather observation. 19000 Zulu.
Alright, landing checklist. Alright. Once we're establishing the glide slope, we'll take care of that. That is the procedure. And today we're taking flaps to 5. That is also correct on the checklist.
Temperature 8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2948. November 8 9er automated weather observation. 19000 Zulu. Wind 215 at 17. Visibility 9er.
That right there does get annoying, doesn't it? But we have to keep it on for now, since we are arriving to an airport that is uncontrolled.
November 8 9er automated weather observation. 19000 Zulu. Wind 214 at 18. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 3,100 few clouds.
We have the runway right in sight. Beautiful.
14,400 overcast.
Beautiful sighting.
8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2948. November 8 9er automated weather observation. 19000 Zulu. Wind 214 at 19er. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 3,800 few clouds at 5,300 ceiling, 14,400 overcast. Temperature 8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2948. November 8 9er automated weather observation. 19000 Zulu. Wind 21 tree at 18. Visibility 9er. Sky condition. Few clouds at 3,800 few
Alright.
clouds at 5,300
We're
ceiling,
just about
14,400 broken. Temperature.
right in. Runway is right there.
November 1-2
Yep,
automated
to the
weather
left.
observation. 19000 Zulu. Wind 21 tree at 18. Visibility 9er. Sky condition.
Yep,
Ceiling
flaps 15.
13,800 broken. Temperature 10C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2948.
Flaps 15. Landing gear down.
November 1-2 automated weather observation.
2500.
19000 Zulu.
Yep, we're established on final.
204 at 17. Visibility 9er. Sky
Clean
condition.
traffic.
Ceiling
Kathy 830 heavy.
13,800 broken.
On final 22 left. 10 miles out.
1 tree C.
Caution wake heavy.
Altimeter
777.
November
Alright.
1-2 automated weather
Landing
observation.
checklist. Speed brakes armed, and we're going to get those flaps down.
Visibility 9er. Sky condition.
We're about like 7.5 miles out, so yes, I would say time for landing flaps configuration and graph speed.
November 1-2 automated weather observation.
Go ahead and get it down. It's flaps 20, flaps 20. This is a rather short runway, so speed brakes 4 actually. I don't know why December just gave us that, but we'll take it anyway. Challenge the performance of the 777 and my scales as well.
1900 Zulu. Wind 20 tree at 19er. Visibility 9er. Sky
Laps
condition,
25.
ceiling 13,800
Final approach speed.
Temperature 9er
Okay,
C.
alright.
Dew point 1 tree C.
Checklist complete, even though it's not marking for some reason.
November
Kind of strange.
2 automated weather observation 1900 Zulu.
Alright, checklist complete.
20 tree at 19er.
That's why. Both
Visibility
flaps.
9er. Sky condition ceiling 13,800.
And is the cabin ready?
Temperature 9er C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter
Cabin seats for
2948.
landing. There we go.
November 12 automated
Coming in
weather
nice and easy.
observation. 1900 Zulu. Wind 20 tree at 19er. Visibility 9er. Sky condition ceiling 13,800 broken. Temperature 8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2948.
1,000.
1,000. At this point, I'll go ahead and turn off autopilot. Okay. That also wants to shut up. There it is.
Visibility 9er. Sky condition ceiling 13,800 broken. Temperature 8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter 2949er. November 12 automated weather observation.
500.
1900 Zulu. Wind 20 tree at 19er. Visibility 9er. Sky condition.
Feeling that mechanical
Few
turbulence
clouds
all the
32
way.
few clouds.
Yeah, I'm feeling those wind gusts
13,800
right in on
Temperature,
us.
8C. Dew point 1 tree C. Altimeter
I'm flying it.
2949.
Flying this airplane. And get it right in. On the touchdown marker.
12 automated weather observation. 1900 Zulu. Wind 20 tree at 19er. Visibility 9er.
Yeah, we're definitely a little bit too high.
Few clouds of 3,200 few clouds. At
Wrestling it down.
13,800 broken. Temperature 7C. Dew point 1 tree C.
20.
Altimeter 2949er.
Rough landing. Huh. That was a rough landing. Admit. And I'm slamming the brakes. Yep. Alright. Idle reverser is out. Or they just turned off anyway. I think idle reversers are just for bad weather, I would say. Vacate the runway. Slow the airplane down. We're coming up on this turn. Getting traffic. Runway 2 to left vacated on Juliet. That's wide turn. Vacate. There's a spot for the 777, so I don't know why it keeps trying to say that we wouldn't fit. And I don't really fully trust this X on this, so be extremely cautious about parking. Alright, coming right in. Let's stop right there. And after N220T, we're going to kill the beacon lights. All right, there we go. Perfect. And we're taking this spot for parking, so
This parking is too small.
oh, whatever. Shut up, GSX. Deboarding, please.
Boarding requested.
Yeah, I know that wasn't very good parking. Next time. Alright, that will be logged into our flights. That's time. Go ahead and set it. Alright, thank you all for watching, and I will see you back in another video. Yes, I will go ahead and request ground power. And let's turn off the seatbelts.
Passengers